Greetings and welcome. This is Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. Trigger warning: the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. All cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. So in today's episode, I'm going to be looking at Elisa Serna, excuse the pronunciation. Now, you may recall this image. This is moments before Elisa is discovered deceased. And interestingly, we have the timestamp 11/11. Interestingly, we have the date stamp 11/11/2019. And we've got a nice timestamp there, which I'm sure Val would enjoy. But that also gives me an indication of when did this crime take place. So if we've got, did I say crime? Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have a very serious situation here on our hands, which involves higher-ups and the worker bees in, I believe, institutional murder, which is common knowledge amongst the higher-ups. You'll note this big block here, November the 14th, 2019, 3710-1. Those are those higher-up circles. And in this case, I believe the higher-up circles go beyond the prison walls, but may include, and I'll need to prove it, and I believe it has been proved already, 22-4. How do I put this to not offend anyone? But while I was looking at these numbers, I had the impression of, is there some kind of experimentation going on within these walls? That's what I'm picking up, and there's evidence to prove it, that there are other organizations involved running tests through this facility. Now, in my varsity days, I studied psychology, a year and a half, and then in my media days, I had a particular focus on mental health. But I was also very interested in how facilities, particularly psychiatric facilities, treat their patients. And of course, this falls into the police correctional services. She was in a medical isolation number 5. How ironic, number 5. And we're going to get to that number, because you'll see that the San Diego County Sheriff's Department was founded in 1850, which is a 14-5. In my opinion, this is not a correctional service number. This is break them when they get inside number. Not correctional services, and I know there's this big debate, but this is definitely not a correctional services number. This is when you get in and you're incarcerated, so the individual gets in to jail for, with an outcome 5, treated inhumanely. Treated inhumanely. Not correctional services, or, okay, you made a mistake, you were whatever, you took a blouse off the rack at a shop and you didn't pay for it type stuff, but regardless of the crime, you will get your fair torture. Alright, 14-5. Not a very nice number. And ironically, the 14-5 is what humans do to other humans. So it makes it even more ghastly that a human being made a decision to harm another human being. Okay. So when you get into the institutional environment, which is one of my particular pet peeves, now the picture that we have here, the screen grab at 11/11/2019, is this block here. But the red line, and I'm just going to put a red arrow there, from here is where the murder, well, I'm going to actually show that I believe the murder happened before this time, because I believe she may have been poisoned of the like. That's my theory, having meditated on this. I actually had this case not completely ready. Well, I wanted to do the case a while back already, and it pinged on me again today. So from the red line onwards is where 8 o'clock onwards, right? 8 p.m. Now the number that bothers me here is the 16-7. If we're looking for, and of course, just if you're new to the channel, we are dealing with numbers mainly in their negative aspect, because we are dealing with a negative event. But the 16-7, that's what actually caused alarm in me to go deeper, because the 16-7, that's like asphyxiation, right? That's like air not getting to the lungs. But some of the text about the way she died is not matching. Do you know what I mean? And the 6 here, and I'm actually going to mark it red now. And Elisa has been around, gently so. The 6 here is problematic because I believe there may have been a poison applied here. A poison. Now we can argue, let's just deal with the context of the crime, or the context of Elisa being incarcerated. Discovery was that she was obviously had addictions to alcohol and drugs, right? Fair enough. Doesn't give you the right to murder someone. Whatever the reasons for her addictions, and very young person. So now 16-7 is not a, let's say toxicity level is high, there's poison in the system. Poison, that kind of thing, is actually ironically 14-5. At least one number. 14-5, not good for the human. I'm just trying to look here. 15-6, 16-7. So 4s, the 22-4. This is also what alarms me. The 22-4 is institutional medical center, large facility. Where she was in. Now what bothers me, and I know we're in November, and there will be naturally a lot of 11-2s, but on top of those 11-2, there's even more. So there's huge laws being broken here on both sides. Double 11-2 on the day that she would pass. The November 9, going left to right on the top. November 9, you got double 11s again. On November the 6th, the day she's incarcerated, you got mass of 11-2s here. Mass. And on the reflection day, and I'm discovering some of this information now as we go. I was happy to start here. All right, so let's have a look here. So November the 14th is the reflection day. And who do we have at the top of the day? 14-5. Something has gone wrong here. What we know about the case is becoming a bit repetitive. Play, repeat, DJ. 14-5 is on the scene. What we know about the story is a lie. 25-7 also speaks to institutional murder. 37-10-1. Now why are these numbers here? Surely if it was a natural death, okay, 13-4, body has an issue. That was the other number, 13-4. Body has an issue. She's got toxic levels in her system. She's got alcohol poisoning. She's got drug poisoning. She's going to die. She's going through withdrawals. But those aren't the numbers that I'm seeing at the moment that supposedly she dies. I'm seeing foul play. Now, 37-10-1, we got the 28-10-1. That's communication amongst the people here. This is not the correctional officer or nurse speaking to Elisa 28-10-1, no. This is the higher up shitting on the nurse and the doctors and the people working that night, shitting on them. Or let me rather say, having stern words in a meeting scenario. 19-10-1, murder. Now, spirit, and I believe Elisa had something to do with it as well, prompted me to include the 15th and the 16th, and the reason why I did that, because normally I would stop here, right, because it's 3 days, 72 hours after the event, I get a sense of what is going on. See, that 15-6 technically falls in that crime scene zone, and that's someone manipulated the situation. Someone manipulated the situation, and we must also keep in mind, I know this might be a bit sensitive to some viewers, or most, she was pregnant as well. So let's say, or did they discover she was pregnant post-mortem? Because apparently she wasn't receiving medical attention at the time for the withdrawals of her addictions. Which is one thing, which is a very difficult thing depending on what she was taking, right? What I'm getting to, and not judging, and what I'm getting to is, even for that scenario, why wasn't there medical care given? And I've got the answer. Welcome to Test Facility, San Diego County, Medical Isolation Ward 5. Come test your aerosols today. Because this is air lungs death, air lungs, not toxicity in the stomach or the body. This is air to lungs. And look what happens the day before. This is even more alarming. So the day before Elisa is killed, right? We've got the mass of 12 threes plus a hidden 21-3. So there's a hidden agenda here. 21-3, famous number in a abduction case scenario, held against her will. So in other words, Elisa's trapped in this room here. 21-3. She's trapped. Okay. 21-3. Trapped. So the top half, I can say 11 to a law's been broken, it's an institutional thing, law 10-1, it's a woman that got into trouble, sure, no problem, and she feels trapped and locked up and so on. And of course, there's an overwhelming 3s here. Now that already is alarm bells, right? But the very next number is 33-6. That's not normal. 33-6 is a deadly plan. So here's deadly, 33-6. There's deadly, and I'll show you how. 33-6 is the deadly 22-4 plan. This is how. 15-6. So we got like a drug. That becomes poison. This is not because when she was incarcerated on the 6th, November the 6th, and now she's feeling ill. No, this is something new. This is deliberate, like a drug given to her, or a drug, what they gave her was like poison to her, and then that's why she died, right? It's not because she was going through toxic levels and her system failed. I haven't read the full autopsy, whatever the outcome was. But according to me, this is an air breathing problem here. But the bit I saw was the issue of toxicity or acid in the stomach, or the body couldn't take it anymore, right? 15-6. That is deliberate drugs put into someone. Deliberate, like Elisa says rata. Like rata. So come test your pulse here today, ladies and gentlemen. Your day is the 11th of the 11th, 2019, Medical Isolation Ward 5. Come test your latest product today. We have a free and trapped specimen that you can try your stuff on. Free human trials. These are all the wrong numbers. This is like, okay, let me put it this way, why it's jarring. The bottom half of these numbers is like what you would see in society. Like you're not in jail, right? So you got outsiders mingling with the insider. That's one thing. But I should be seeing different numbers, outcome days when you're incarcerated. I'm seeing very odd numbers here. This is like there's planned stuff going on here. And when you see numbers like 37-10-1, the big lie, 14-5, there's culprit there, 15-6, illegal drugs made into poison, the manner, 16-7, there's 16-7 again, there's 16-7 on the evening that she would pass, 16-7, 16-7. 27-9, premeditated murder. Knowingly giving someone something, whether it's in a gas form or pill form or whatever, knowing that the outcome would be death. 9. Institutional, 39-12-3. Military, chemical, organizational level, yeah. Lots of people coming to test. Let's test and see what this does to this person. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's quite a lot of information. And I even went as far back as, so if she was incarcerated, they say 5 days before she died, right? So that puts it November the 6th. What already bothers me on this day, 29/11/2. So we can say on the real, a law's been broken, right? 11/2. But it almost feels like the law that's meant to be applied was broken to be broken. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's the people that are meant to be upholding the law are not upholding the law and breaking the law. So this is what happens when you have so-called institutions that their outward appearances, yeah, sure, people have committed crime, no problem. Correctional, what now, what level, but behind the scenes there's ulterior motives. The day after she's incarcerated, November the 7th, look at all these threes here. Look at all these threes. What the heck is going on here? And we can argue, yes, incarceration. It's all about control. But the issue here, November 16, is when you have a mass of threes, you have people that are abusive of their power. They are abusive of their power. See, there's a typo here from the previous. Mass of threes. We might as well be at a crime scene in someone's bedroom. Who are the soft targets? Women. Minority women. Quite a trade going on behind these walls. Quite the trade. And yeah, thank you. I've just been reminded. Look who's here on the scene. 24/6 here is here as well, actually. 24/6, familiar amongst themselves, right? Familiar. So Elisa could never have been familiar to them, right? So familiar amongst themselves, 24/6. Who do we have here? 24/6. Familiar amongst themselves. Nice human experiments going on behind the walls here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please leave your comments, leave your thoughts. I do engage. I love engaging with your comments. Please stay safe, stay alert, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.